Well, hello everyone. Hope everybody's doing great. Haven't been able to get out here in the shop for the past couple of weeks due to being so cold. The heating plant out here in the shop went out about 2.5 weeks ago and had to order a part, and it just came in this weekend. So I was able to get the heat back and going, and I walked in here this morning. Before I got it going, it was like 32 degrees here in the shop. So we got the heat back up and going. Anyway, what we have here is the speaker assembly out of the Sparton 301. And we can see here the speaker is made by the Magnavox company out of Oakland, California, and it was made in the USA. A nice little dynamic sticker on it, and you know what this is a electromagnetic speaker. It has the audio output transformer mounted here in the bottom, and it also has a field coil mounted up here under this cover. Well, you can see the surround is completely gone. This is so hard and dried up, and I needed to get this speaker together so that we could start troubleshooting the radio portion of it. So I needed a good working speaker. Now, I did have the unit up in on the bench and had it on, and did get some hum out of the speaker, so I know the speaker is working, so that is a good thing. But I want to go ahead and get this speaker tore down because I need to take a lot of this metal and go out there and sandblast it, because you can see it's rusty, and we have quite a bit of rust on here. This part here, I think I'm going to just clean it up. I might sandblast this piece and this outer ring, and get those looking better, and hit it with some paint. Now, if you know, back then in the day, they didn't have dust caps on speakers, and it's just, they just didn't put them on there. But over the years, this is full of dirt and grime, and I don't know if you can hear that or not. You can hear the scratchiness. And it's not that the voice coil is hitting the center pole piece, it's just that the dirt and stuff is in the crack, and that's scratching. So we're going to have to remove the whole cone. I'm not going to replace the cone. The cone is in pretty good shape. There is a couple of places on it that I will have to repair. There's a little split here. There's another one over here on this side. There it is right here. And we'll fix those splits with 3M contact cement. 3M contact cement will hold it together, but it's, it's flexible. First thing I need to do is go ahead and get this rest of this old surround out and get it out of the way. Then we can take this outer ring off and finish cleaning it up. So I'm going to do is use a razor knife just to go in here and cut this loose all the way around. So just break the rest of it away from the cone. Just like so. Since I'm going to have to remove the cone, I'm not worried about what falls down in there because it's already got to be cleaned off anyway. We happy to get a little snow the first of the week. That's something we don't get much of here in Carolinas. We got about 3 inches. Used to years ago, if we got a ½ inch of snow, it shut the whole county down. But this time, we got a little better at dealing with it here. Let's just put it that way. People from North Carolina don't know how to drive in bad weather, especially ice and snow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove all these screws. Take this trim plate out. They will be rusty. Okay, I got all the screws out of the ring. And yeah, you can just see just how rusty this is. One of the screws did break off in here. So I'm going to have to drill that out after I get this sandblasted and repainted. So what I need to do now is disconnect these leads that's going up here for the voice coil, so that I can get this whole assembly apart. That one. There's the voice coil lead. Solder doesn't want to heat up. There we go. Sometimes when the solder doesn't want to heat up, just put some fresh solder on it. And it should come right out. There we go. All those are loose. So we got two wires here that go up to the field coil that we'll need to desolder those and get them off. I am going to mark these so that we know where it went to. Okay, I got those two wires desoldered. We should be able to get most of this off. There's two brackets that hold this together, kind of like a clamshell. And you got a bolt here in the top that's got to come out. Okay, let's see if I can break this bolt loose. That's our audio output transformer, and you can see these wires on here. It's old plastic wires. They are cracked up. This has been smashed right here where it was put together, probably from the factory for years and years ago. So we'll have to replace these wires and route them so that they don't smash like that. That is a thick piece of metal. It's probably 3/16 solid piece of metal. And you can see that's our field coil. It slides right off the A35, it's like 9.2. The bench is mighty dirty now. Now hopefully I can take these 3 screws out and remove this whole thing, and the cone will fall out without having to disconnect the spider. Let's see if I'm right on that. I do not want these bolts to break off. Always going to be one. Okay, let me work on that one. Okay, I finally got that one bolt loose, and that was a job. And with that, now our cage should slide right up off the voice coil without having to disconnect the spider. And there we go. You can see our cone is still attached to the spider with the voice coil in it. Yeah, and it was very dusty and dirty in there. So good thing about it, we can clean that up. But first I got to is clean this mess up. Okay, there's everything less the screws. let's say this speaker cone looks pretty good, and you see how dirty it is. I mean, think about 1929. It's been sitting in there like this and gathered all kinds of dust. And all we'll do is just take a little paintbrush and just go in and brush it all off until it's all gone. And then you can see there's one little tear in the paper there. That's where that 3M contact cement will come in handy. And there's another one right there, but I won't worry about fixing that until I get it all cleaned up. And what I'm going to do is just take a little acetone and drop on these here, and that'll loosen up what little bit of glue is still on it, instead of trying to, well, some of it comes off easy, but seems like most of it does come off easy. Normally what I do is just soak it in a little acetone, and that loosens up the glue and it comes right off. But we definitely don't want to damage the cone, but this seems to be coming off okay. Alright, I'll take it and I'll clean all this up and clean it with some acetone. Get these glued back down. I'll probably just come around about a ½ inch all the way around and put a little 3M contact cement on it. I'll need to clean out around the voice coil. I can see a little dust on there too. Right down in there. It brushes right off, no problem. This part is heavily rusted. See the back of the speaker cage got some heavy rust on it, and this edge, I didn't really want to repaint this, but we might have to. A lot of green looking some corrosion around there, and you can see just how dirty the centerpiece is. We'll have to get that cleaned up. And the way this is made, you see it just slides down there till it gets to that groove, and then when the cover goes on, it centers it by clamping on these two brackets into the center, so that keeps it in the center and keeps it at the right depth. But all that will have to be cleaned up. So I was on the antique radio forum, and the guy was working on an old Sparton 301, and I had mentioned something about needing the surround for the speaker. And I could have ordered it, but he happened to have one, and has a whole tube of glue. Feels good. and there's the surround to fit that one speaker. And he shipped it to me for $10, so I can't complain at all about that. That was a pretty good deal, what I thought. I want to say these things are 20 or 25 bucks for the kit. That comes with a couple of them, and all I needed was one anyway, and the glue, and I got it shipped here for $10. Okay, I'm ready to start putting this speaker back together, but these wires has to be addressed. As you can see, they're just cracking up bad, and I went ahead and dug out some of the old plastic wiring that was on the top. You can just see just how bad this wiring is. I mean, this is just old and dried out and cracking up. I'm going to be very careful. I'm not going to try to remove the wire completely from these terminals, because I don't want to risk damaging the internal wiring, so I'm going to just clip that off. And I think I'm going to come over here on the top and solder my new wires to these terminals on the top and run them around and then down to the terminal. This sits right up against the inside. See, that's what helped smash those wires from before. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and ohm this out and make sure that it's okay. If we 200 scale, go ahead and ohm out the primary side. Should be very low ohms, and as you can see, that's about 7 ohms. That's about right. And if we go from outside to outside, should be close to 5. It's about 438, and then we should get about half of that on there. It's 230. Just check the other side just to be sure. About 200. So this is actually looking good, as long as I don't break no wires removing these. Get the field coil. Go ahead and put this up on 20K. Probably gonna get about 5K or so. .3K. So that's a good thing. Everything is looking okay. I don't see no problems with that. The biggest thing, like I said, is getting these old wires replaced. Alright, got all the old cracked up wire off. I didn't have any yellow wire this size, so I used black where the 2 yellows was. This is high temperature, high voltage Teflon coated wire. It's smaller as far as the wire. The insulation is real thin on it, but the wire size is very close to what was already on there. As you can see, that just fits down in there better, so it shouldn't have any problem. I'm going to put an insulator over this before I put it back together. You see, we got the went ahead and got it back under there where it was, but with this wire it's a lot easier to tuck it under there and don't have to worry about it being smashed this time. Alright, now we can go ahead and start putting the speaker together. The first thing we got to do is put our cone assembly back in. And this is just going to slide down over the voice coil, and then I can line these holes. And you see, by doing it this way, we did not have to adjust the spider to center the voice coil. It's already centered on the piece that it's on. So all we got to do now is just put this in, put the bolts in it and tighten it down. Get the bolt started. And that should have it aligned pretty good. Okay, now send a pole piece in. Drop a fuel coil on. Bolt started into our pole piece. Now I got to put these little clamps in, and they can be a little bit aggravating to get started. Well, that's one of them. Okay. Now we can go ahead and start by getting the surround put in. Okay, this is the surround that we're putting on here, and what I do in 4 places, I mark about 5/16 to a ½ inch in 4 different places. And right now the cone is in the relaxed state, and it's already, you know, aligned with the spider, so that the voice coil does not rub at all the way it is right now. and that's the way we want to set it. So what I do is take the surround and place it up here and try to get it close to those 4 marks. That way I know the surround is centered with the speaker cone. Then what I'll do is just turn it over and go ahead and apply my glue to the surround, and I'm going to apply a little bit to the edge of the speaker cone. Now I have seen people take the foam and put it around the cone so that the cone is on the top side. This is how most people do it here, is put the foam on the top of the cone instead of the other way around. Alright, now we just got to wait for that to dry. Okay, that's pretty much dried now. So basically all we got to do is glue the outer of the foam. And once we put the glue in, what we do to keep it centered, we're going to push both sides down at a time. And that should be pretty much centered. Shouldn't be no problems in it rubbing the voice coil. And the way we can find out is by taking this trim ring. Again, the coil is on the spider and it's in its relaxed state and it's not rubbing the way it is. So we'll just take this and push it right down on there. We can see that our speaker moves up and down with no problems, no rubbing. And we could cut shims and put shims in it, but there's no need of doing that because it's pretty much self-aligning the way it is. So we'll go ahead and we'll start putting glue around and get this glued down. Okay, get this cap back off. And just so you know, the heat has gone out again. I think now it's not going into defrost because the whole outside unit froze up earlier. Okay. Press it there. Alright. Alright. I don't have the spacer to go in here, so I cut a piece of poster board. And now the trim ring should sit right on top of that. And I can go ahead and get this bolted in place. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wire the voice coil wires back in. And I'll just go ahead and stick them down in there. I know it's a little hard for y'all to see this, but I probably should just do it off camera. I'm going to have to get the magnifying light down there so I can even see. Get a little solder and put on it. Alright, now all I need to do is get the transformer back in there, and this will just about be complete. Well, there we go, guys. The speaker for the Sparton 301 is all back together and is ready to be used when the time needed. So the reason why I had to go ahead and fix this speaker is that I'm going to start troubleshooting the whole radio unit, and to be able to do that I need the speaker, because the speaker, you know, a lot of the power goes through the speaker and then back to the radio for the field coil, so that needed to be a working speaker just to be able to test the radio out with. So now we've got that done, that's behind us. But anyway, I'll be working on that. I got a tube in for the one of the rectifiers that was bad. 281 was not working, so I got one of those in, thanks to a viewer that sent it in. So we'll be able to get on that and go ahead and start some process. Well guys, I got a lot of stuff in here that I'm going to be working on over the next couple of weeks, and be getting out some more videos here soon. Like I say, last couple of weeks haven't been able to get in the shop that much with all the cold weather and the heat acting up. But we'll get that situated and we'll get back out here. Now, if you don't know, I have started a second channel called Buddy's Workshop. I'll leave a link down below to that, and that's where I'm going to be doing most of the machining work and stuff at, instead of over here on the main channel. So anything that's garage related, you know, milling, drilling, turning on the lathe, whatever, mechanical work, any car projects or whatever, will be done on that channel. So if you would please check it out, and because there will be some stuff on that channel that will be done for radio repair, like, you know, when I need to make parts, couplers and gears or whatever for radio, it'll probably be shown on that channel. So like I say, the link's down below. Anyway, I know this was kind of short and to the point, nothing really big and exciting, but it was a project that had to be done, and I decided to just carry y'all along with me while I was doing it. Anyway guys, stay tuned, a lot more to come, and I've got to get in here and clean this shop up. It is in a mess. There's been so much stuff going on in here. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and if you would hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. I know I don't ask y'all that a lot, but every little bit helps. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Bye now.